Deep in the pristine halls of the Galactic Council's central chamber, thousands of alien representatives sat in stunned silence. The holographic display at the center of the chamber showed what many had dismissed as impossible. Earth, that insignificant blue planet from the backwaters of the Milky Way, had not only survived the invasion, but had turned the tables in a way that sent shivers down the spines of even the most battle-hardened species. This cannot be," whispered High Counselor Zextal, his crystalline form dimming with disbelief. "The humans were supposed to be primitive. Their technology was centuries behind even our most basic civilizations." His multiple eyes blinked rapidly as he rewatched the footage of Earth's counterattack. 6 months ago, the Drachnid Empire had launched what they believed would be a routine conquest of Earth. After all, they had successfully subjugated hundreds of worlds with their superior technology and overwhelming military might. Earth was meant to be nothing more than another trophy in their vast collection of conquered planets. But they had gravely miscalculated. The footage showed massive Earth vessels emerging from hidden underwater bases, their hulls gleaming with a strange metal that seemed to absorb energy weapons like they were nothing more than light shows. Human fighters darted between Drachnid warships with impossible agility, using technology that somehow combined the raw power of fusion drives with the precision of quantum navigation. "The humans," began Council Member Lyra, her bioluminescent tentacles pulsing with anxiety, "they didn't just defend themselves. They reverse-engineered our most advanced technology in mere months. Technology that took us centuries to develop." The chamber erupted in worried murmurs as the next sequence played out. Earth's defense forces had not only repelled the Drachnid invasion, but had systematically dismantled their entire fleet. More shocking was how they had done it, not with brute force, but with elegant solutions that exploited weaknesses nobody else had even theorized could exist. A human diplomatic vessel was now approaching the Galactic Council station, requesting an audience. This wasn't the behavior of a primitive species grateful to have survived. This was the confident stride of a civilization that had been underestimated for the last time. "What do they want?" Someone called out from the upper tiers. The question hung heavy in the air, voicing the fear that gripped every representative present. The final segment of footage showed Earth's new defense grid powering up. A network of satellites that could supposedly redirect the energy of an entire star. The same technology that had reduced the Drachnid's main invasion force to floating debris in less than an hour. High Counselor Zextal rose from his seat, his voice carrying across the chamber. "We all dismissed the humans' potential because their progress seemed slow and methodical. We never considered that they were building something greater than we could imagine, learning from every civilization they observed, preparing for the day they would need to defend themselves." The massive doors of the chamber began to slide open. The human representatives had arrived, and with them, humanity's response to centuries of being watched, judged, and underestimated by the galactic community. The council members held their breath, knowing that whatever happened next would reshape the balance of power in the galaxy forever. The question wasn't whether Earth would take its place among the stars anymore. The question was whether the rest of the galaxy was ready for what humanity had become. The chamber's atmosphere grew heavier as 3 human representatives entered, their footsteps echoing across the silent hall. Leading them was Admiral Sarah Chen, her military uniform adorned with symbols unfamiliar to the Council, medals and insignias from Earth's unified defense force. Behind her walked Dr. Thomas Rivera, Earth's chief scientist, whose casual demeanor seemed almost insulting in such a formal setting. The third figure, Ambassador James Sullivan, carried himself with the practiced grace of a career diplomat. None of them looked afraid. If anything, there was a hint of amusement in their eyes as they observed the assembled alien representatives. "Honorable members of the Galactic Council," Ambassador Sullivan began, his voice clear and measured. "We come not for revenge, but for accountability." He paused, letting his words sink in. "For centuries, your civilizations have treated Earth as a cosmic zoo exhibit, watching us struggle and grow while placing bets on our survival." Admiral Chen stepped forward, her expression stern. "We knew we weren't alone. We tracked your observation posts, intercepted your communications, and studied your technologies, all while you thought we were busy fighting among ourselves. She activated a small device, and new holograms appeared above the chamber, showing hundreds of locations where alien surveillance had been detected and quietly monitored by Earth's defense forces. The council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Many had personally authorized such observation missions, never suspecting they were being watched in return. Dr. Rivera cleared his throat, adding, "You see, what looked like primitive technology to you was actually centuries of careful preparation. Every satellite we launched had a dual purpose. Every space mission taught us something about your weaknesses. Even our apparent conflicts served to mask our true technological progress." The holographic display shifted to show Earth's true defense network, not just the visible satellites, but massive underground complexes, lunar bases hidden on the dark side of the moon, and asteroid installations that had been cloaked from detection. It was an intricate web of defensive and offensive capabilities that had been methodically assembled right under the galaxy's collective nose. The Drachnid Empire's invasion wasn't a surprise. Admiral Chen continued, her voice carrying an edge of steel. It was an opportunity, one we used to demonstrate that humanity will no longer tolerate being treated as inferior or expendable. High Counselor Zextol's crystalline form flickered with nervous energy. "What are your demands?" he asked, voicing the question that burned in every representative's mind. Ambassador Sullivan smiled, not unkindly, but with firm resolve. "We don't make demands, Counselor. We're here to propose a new framework for galactic relations, one based on mutual respect and genuine cooperation." He gestured to Dr. Rivera, who stepped forward with another holographic display. "This," Dr. Rivera explained, "is just a small sample of scientific breakthroughs we've achieved by combining our understanding of the universe with the fragments of alien technology we gathered. Advances that could benefit all species if we work together as equals." The display showed technologies that made even the most advanced council members lean forward in fascination. Clean energy systems that defied current physical models, medical procedures that could regenerate entire organ systems, and propulsion theories that would revolutionize space travel. But before anyone could fully process these revelations, Admiral Chen's communication device chimed with an urgent alert. Her expression darkened as she read the message, exchanging quick glances with her colleagues. "It seems," she announced to the now silent chamber, "that not everyone is ready to accept the new balance of power. We just detected multiple fleets dropping out of hyperspace near Earth's defensive perimeter, and they're not coming to talk." The holographic display in the council chamber shifted to show real-time footage of the approaching fleets. Massive warships from the Centauri Dominion, the Arcturus Collective, and 3 other major powers had emerged from hyperspace, their weapons already charged and shields at maximum power. The council erupted into chaos as various representatives shouted accusations and denials. Admiral Chen remained unnaturally calm, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. 5 fleets, each larger than the Drachnid invasion force, she observed coolly. "I suppose some lessons need to be learned firsthand." She turned to Ambassador Sullivan and nodded once. Sullivan stepped forward, his voice cutting through the pandemonium. "Members of the council, what you're about to witness isn't an act of war. It's a demonstration of why diplomacy should have been your first choice." He gestured to Dr. Rivera, who activated a secure communication channel to Earth Command. The chamber's main display split to show multiple views: the approaching fleets, Earth's orbital defense grid, and a curious new reading that made several alien scientific advisors gasp in disbelief. The energy signatures around Earth were shifting in impossible ways. "You see," Dr. Rivera explained, his voice taking on a professor's tone, "while the Drachnids got to experience our conventional defenses, they never saw our true capabilities. We've been holding back, hoping it wouldn't come to this." The scientist's fingers danced across his control panel, bringing up detailed schematics that showed something that defied conventional physics. On the main display, the space around Earth began to ripple like heat waves over hot pavement. The incoming fleet's sensors went haywire, their formations starting to break as ship after ship reported critical system failures. But they weren't being destroyed. They were being completely shut down. "Impossible," whispered one of the council's senior scientists. They're manipulating the fundamental forces themselves. The strength of their gravitational field, the flow of time within their sphere of influence. His voice trailed off as the implications became clear. Admiral Chen's communicator crackled with desperate messages from the attacking fleets. Their engines were dead, weapons offline, and even their life support systems were running on emergency power. Nearly 10,000 ships, the pride of 5 spacefaring civilizations, hung helpless in space. "Let me be clear," Chen announced, her voice carrying the weight of Earth's new authority. "We could destroy these fleets as easily as we defeated the Drachnids, but that's not our way. Each of these ships will be allowed to power up enough systems to return home, after their commanders have signed documents acknowledging Earth's sovereignty." The council chamber had grown so quiet you could hear the subtle hum of life support systems. Dr. Rivera's displays showed more readings that made advanced alien scientists shake their heads in denial. Humanity hadn't just caught up to galactic civilization. They'd taken a completely different path and surpassed it. Ambassador Sullivan raised his hand for attention. "What you're seeing is just the beginning. Earth's defensive sphere now extends throughout our solar system. Any hostile action against Earth or her colonies will be met with." He paused, searching for the right words. "Similar demonstrations of our capabilities." Suddenly, every screen in the chamber flashed red. New alerts showed massive energy spikes near the edge of the solar system. Dr. Rivera's eyes widened as he analyzed the readings, and for the first time, the human representatives looked genuinely concerned. "That's not possible," Rivera muttered, his fingers flying over his controls. "These energy signatures, they're like nothing we've ever seen before." He looked up at his colleagues, his face pale. "Something's coming, something big, and it's not from any known civilization in the galaxy." Admiral Chen's communicator lit up with urgent messages from Earth Command. The confident smile had vanished from her face, replaced by an expression of grim determination. Whatever was approaching would test humanity's newfound power in ways they hadn't imagined possible. The massive energy signatures at the edge of the solar system coalesced into something that defied description. What emerged wasn't ships or weapons. It was a tear in the fabric of space itself, a writhing portal that seemed to bend light around its edges. Through this impossible breach came a transmission that echoed through every communication system in the council chamber and across Earth's defense network. "Children of the stars." The message began in a frequency that somehow translated itself into every known language simultaneously. "Your quarrels amuse us. We are the architects, and we have watched your species since the first stars were born." The voice carried weight of eons, making even Earth's most advanced sensors struggle to process its complexity. Dr. Rivera's hands shook as he analyzed the readings. "The energy output, it's greater than our entire sun. Whatever they are, they're operating on a level that makes our breakthrough technology look like stone tools." He looked at Admiral Chen, whose face had hardened into a mask of determination. "Fascinating," the voice continued, "how the humans turned their isolation into strength. But now you face a choice that will determine the fate of all life in this galaxy." The portal expanded, showing glimpses of impossible geometries and civilizations that existed beyond conventional spacetime. Ambassador Sullivan stepped forward, his diplomatic training barely masking his awe. "We're listening," he announced, speaking for both Earth and the stunned council members. The response came not in words but in visions that filled every screen and holographic display. They showed a galaxy-spanning threat that had been approaching for millions of years, a wave of entropy that devoured everything in its path. The architects revealed that they had been preparing various species to face this threat, each in their own way. Earth's isolation hadn't been an accident. It had been a test. "Your species learned to innovate without guidance," the voice explained. "The others." It paused as images of the alien civilizations appeared. "They were given technology, taught to follow paths we laid out. But you, humans, you found your own way. And in doing so, you discovered principles of reality that even we had overlooked." Admiral Chen's communicator suddenly lit up with urgent messages from Earth Command. The defensive grid was detecting similar tiers in space appearing near every major world in the galaxy. The entropy wave wasn't millions of years away. It had already begun its final approach. This was never about proving Earth's strength to the Council, Dr. Rivera whispered, understanding dawning in his eyes. All of this, the invasion, the observation, the technology race, it was preparation for something far bigger. The architect's next words confirmed his suspicion. The time of testing is over. Now comes the true challenge. Your world has discovered how to manipulate the fundamental forces of reality. The others have built empires spanning thousands of worlds. Together, you might have a chance against what comes next. Divided, you will fall. Before anyone could respond, Earth's defense grid detected massive disturbances throughout the galaxy. The entropy wave had accelerated, and early calculations suggested they had weeks, not centuries, to prepare. The same technology that had allowed humanity to humble the galaxy's greatest fleets now revealed the true scale of the threat they faced. Ambassador Sullivan looked at the assembled council members, then back at the portal. You're saying Earth's defiance of the galactic order, our reverse engineering of alien technology, our isolation, it was all by design. His voice carried both accusation and dawning comprehension. The architect's response was simple but chilling. We gave them the pieces. We gave you the motivation. Now show us if life in this galaxy deserves to continue. The portal began to shrink, but not before one final message echoed through the chamber. You have 13 days before the wave reaches its first inhabited world. Unite or watch everything you know dissolve into nothingness. The chamber erupted into chaos once again, but this time Admiral Chen's voice cut through the noise with steel-hard resolve. Well, Council members, it seems we have a choice to make. Earth stands ready to share everything we've developed, all our advancements, all our discoveries. The question is, are you ready to set aside your pride and work with us as equals? As the gravity of the situation sank in, the council chamber transformed into an impromptu command center. The same alien representatives who had looked down on humanity hours ago now huddled around Dr. Rivera's displays, pooling their knowledge with Earth's discoveries. The Drachnid Empire's remaining ships joined the defensive lines alongside their former targets, while Centauri engineers worked frantically with human scientists to adapt Earth's reality warping technology to their vessels. The entropy wave isn't just destroying matter, Dr. River announced, his voice tense as he studied the combined sensor data. It's unraveling the laws of physics themselves. Each system it touches becomes a new point of expansion. He pointed to the simulation showing the wave's progress. At this rate, we have 10 days before it reaches the Proxima Centauri colonies. Admiral Chen stood at the center of Earth's unified command post, coordinating with fleet commanders from 24 species. Our gravitational manipulation fields can slow it down, she explained, but we need something stronger to stop it completely. Something that can rewrite the rules of space-time itself. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A young Drachnid physicist, working with Earth's quantum computing arrays, discovered that the wave's composition matched certain patterns in Earth's defensive technology. It's not random destruction, she announced, her translator barely keeping up with her excitement. The wave is attempting to reset the galaxy to its original state, like a universal immune system responding to our existence. Ambassador Sullivan's eyes widened as he connected the dots. The architects, they weren't preparing us to fight the wave. They were preparing us to prove we deserve to exist. His words sparked a flurry of activity as the combined scientific teams reworked their approach. What followed was the largest coordinated effort in galactic history. Earth's reality warping technology was merged with alien power systems, creating a network of defense platforms that could reach across light years. The remaining days were a blur of desperate preparation, near failures, and last-minute breakthroughs. As the wave approached Proxima Centauri, humanity's home system became the foundation of a plan so audacious it bordered on madness. Every ship, every station, and every planet's defense grid was linked into a single network, channeling power through Earth's sun itself. If we succeed, Dr. River explained to the Council, we're not just stopping the wave, we're proving that life itself is a fundamental force of the universe, as essential as gravity or electromagnetism. The combined fleets took their positions, forming a pattern that spread across light years of space. The moment of truth arrived with devastating speed. The entropy wave struck the first line of defense, and for a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then gradually, the impossible occurred. Where the wave touched the combined field of the Allied fleets, it began to reshape itself, forming patterns that mirrored the very life it had sought to erase. Admiral Chen's voice was steady as she gave the final command. All ships, full power to the network. Show them what life can do. The gathered forces of the galaxy acted as one, channeling their energy through Earth's sun in a display of unity that transcended species and ancient rivalries. The wave didn't just stop, it transformed. The combined power of life itself, expressed through technology and determination, turned the galaxy's greatest threat into something entirely new. Where destruction had approached, new stars were born. Dead systems sparked with potential, and the very fabric of space seemed to hum with renewed purpose. As the dust settled and the Allied fleets confirmed their victory, a final transmission echoed through the command center. The architect's voice held something new, not just age and power, but respect. You have exceeded our highest expectations. Life in this galaxy has proven itself not just worthy of existence, but capable of reshaping reality itself. The true age of exploration can now begin. But even as celebration erupted across the combined fleets, Dr. Rivera noticed something in his readings that made his blood run cold. The wave's transformation hadn't just changed space. It had awakened something that had been sleeping since the beginning of time. And as humanity and its newfound allies celebrated their victory, ancient stars at the galaxy's edge began to pulse with a rhythm that felt distinctly like a heartbeat. Ambassador Sullivan looked at the readings over Rivera's shoulder, and then at Admiral Chen. "I don't suppose," he said with a grim smile, "that anyone was planning to take a vacation anytime soon." The universe, it seemed, had many more surprises in store for its children. In the months that followed humanity's greatest triumph, the galaxy underwent a transformation more profound than anyone could have imagined. The Galactic Council Chamber, once a place of political maneuvering and species superiority, became the heart of a new age of cooperation. The pulsing stars at the galaxy's edge remained a mystery, but they were now viewed not with fear, but with collective curiosity. Dr. Rivera led a joint scientific initiative that studied the aftermath of their victory. The technology that had saved them all continued to evolve, shaped by the combined insights of 1,000 worlds. "We didn't just stop the end of everything," he explained during a broadcast that reached every inhabited system. "We proved that consciousness itself is a fundamental force of the universe. Every species, every world, every individual adds something unique to the equation." Admiral Chen found herself training fleet commanders from dozens of civilizations, sharing Earth's defensive innovations while learning techniques that had been developed across the stars. The former invasion fleets were now part of a unified protective force, standing ready not against each other, but against whatever mysteries the awakening galaxy might reveal. Ambassador Sullivan's role evolved as well. The diplomatic corps he led became a bridge between worlds, helping species that had once been bitter enemies find common ground. "The architects taught us all a lesson," he often said. "Isolation breeds strength, but unity creates miracles." The Drachnid Empire, once the greatest threat to Earth's sovereignty, became one of humanity's closest allies. Their advanced ships, combined with Earth's reality-altering technology, formed the backbone of the new exploration fleets that ventured toward the pulsing stars. The young Drachnid physicists who had helped save them all led these expeditions, eager to understand what new aspects of reality they had awakened. But perhaps the most profound change was in how the different species viewed each other. The hierarchy that had dominated galactic politics for millennia dissolved, replaced by recognition that every civilization had something vital to contribute. Earth's emergence had shown them that different paths to advancement weren't just possible, they were essential. As the first year since the wave's transformation drew to a close, the Council gathered once more. This time, representatives from 100 worlds watched as a new message arrived from the architects. Their voice, still ancient and powerful, now carried a note of satisfaction. "You have proven yourselves worthy not just of existence, but of inheritance. The galaxy is awakening, and you are its chosen guardians. What comes next will test you in ways we never could, but you have shown us that life, in all its forms, will rise to meet any challenge. The pulsing stars continued their cosmic heartbeat, a reminder that the universe held countless mysteries yet to be understood. But now, as humanity and its allies stood together, these mysteries were no longer threats to be feared, but adventures waiting to be embraced. Admiral Chen, Dr. Rivera, and Ambassador Sullivan stood at Earth's primary observation post, watching ships from across the galaxy moving in harmony through the solar system. The same defense grid that had once humbled the most powerful fleets now served as a beacon, guiding visitors from distant worlds who came to learn, to share, and to prepare for whatever the awakening galaxy might reveal. You know, Sullivan mused, looking at the stellar display, perhaps this was Earth's true revenge against those who underestimated us. Not victory in battle, but showing them a better way forward. Chen nodded in agreement, while Rivera continued to study the readings from the pulsing stars, already planning the next great adventure. As night fell over Earth, its cities glowing with lights that could be seen from space, the planet no longer stood as a hidden jewel in the cosmic darkness. Instead, it had become a symbol of hope, a reminder that in the vast expanse of space, the greatest power isn't in weapons or technology, but in the ability to unite, adapt, and evolve together. The galaxy's heart continued to beat, and its children, at last, were ready to answer its call.